There's a secret in weightlifting that seemingly increases your strength by up to 20%.
You're doing that again. Do you know how to break the bar? It's like a game changer in deadlift. Let's go. Easy, what the hell?
When applied correctly, this skill allows you to lift more by optimizing your frame and by fully utilizing your musculature. In short, it maximizes your existing strength potential. What's the secret? It's called removing the slack, and it's not something that's been fully explored in climbing until now. In this video, I'm going to show you how lifters remove the slack and how we can apply the same skill to climbing so that you can fully maximize your existing strength potential. As a result, your moves are going to feel stronger and a lot more secure. Let's do a quick experiment together. Grab a fold of your shirt and slightly tug away. The elasticity of the fabric holds inherent slack that nullifies the power of your pull. Now twist the shirt in your grip and pull again. The twisting of the fabric removes the slack, and now your pull has a lot more power. This is the power of removing the slack, and it's been taught in sports like weightlifting, calisthenics, grappling, and dance. From an outside perspective, lifting seems pretty straightforward. You move a bar up and down a vertical plane. The bigger your muscles, the more you can lift. But start spending more time around lifters and you will realize that strength is actually a skill. When you're new to lifting, the first thing they teach you is form. Once you can consistently move that bar in a straight line and it's time to add more weight, then they teach you the nuances of slack. Removing slack is done by creating torque. The term torque was made popular in the book Becoming a Supple Leopard by Kelly Starrett, and refers to the rotational force generated along the joints, particularly the hips and shoulders, to create stability and control during movement. Creating torque is a cue for athletes to actively engage their muscles to stabilize joints and improve movement quality, therefore reducing injury risk. So how do you create torque? In powerlifting, the two most common cues: bend the bar and screw the feet. Bending the bar creates torque and removes slack in the shoulders, while screwing the feet creates torque and removes slack in the knees and hips. When combined, they create an amazingly stable feeling in the body, allowing you to feel the weight correctly loaded towards your targeted muscles and frame. Now that you know the cues of removing the slack for lifting, I'll show you two ways to apply this same technique to climbing so that your movements feel more secure and powerful. The first way is more beginner-friendly, where you'll use your entire body to create torque. The second way is a bit more advanced, where we will focus on creating torque specifically through the fingers. Before we get to that, guys, I know the end of the year is coming up fast and it's still not too late to hit your climbing goals. I've created a 30-day action plan that you can use to send your project and improve the technical aspects of your climbing. This is not a shortcut to getting stronger, but a methodical way of using good strategy and tactics to improve. You can access this plan by becoming a member of my Movement for Climbers library. Right now, we're doing a 30 for 30 sale where all annual memberships are 30% off. As an annual member, you will also get one free video analysis where I give you direct feedback on your climbing. Follow the link in the description and use the discount code to get 30% off your annual membership. One of the most intuitive ways to remove slack from your entire body is by twisting. Just like in the example of twisting the shirt, we're going to create torque by rotating our limbs. The best demonstration of this is the twist lock from Neil Gresham's Masterclass series. It's a very useful technique where the climber uses hip rotation to twist until her position is locked when her torso rotates into her pulling arm. Not only does this extend the reach of her moving arm, but also stabilizes her body by removing all slack with her pulling arm. To do a proper twist, you need to perform the following cues. 1. Pivot the back foot to outside edge. This is the foot on the same side you're twisting. 2. Turn the hip in towards the wall. 3. Turn in towards your pulling arm. 4. Continuous pressure through your feet to hold the position. This is especially important if you're twisting from a two-footed position or triangle base. The most important cue for twisting is to remain twisted throughout the entire movement. Sometimes people open prematurely and reintroduce slack into their body before reaching the target hold. This can deviate your trajectory and send you off course. If you have to take one thing away from this video, it's this: follow through with the twist. Pay special attention to the foot that's an outside edge. Stay in outside edge and do not unwind. Here are some comparisons of what happens when you twist and remain twisted versus when you don't twist or unwind a bit too early. Now that we've covered the basic way of removing the slack, let's move on to something more advanced. This next method of creating torque specifically targets the fingers and will make you feel noticeably stronger on handholds. If we go back to the lifting cues of bending the bar and screwing the feet, we see that they use external rotation to create torque. The position of the hands and feet are locked in place, and external rotation is applied by rotating the arms and legs outward. In some joints, such as the knee and shoulder, using external rotation and flexion can contribute to joint stability by optimizing ligament and muscle tension. This not only applies to powerlifting, but for pulling motions with the arm as well. Almost all pulling motions we do in climbing involve flexion at the wrist, elbow, or shoulder. We can apply external rotation to create torque on these joints and improve the strength and stability of our movements. I'll show you how with a simple test. I'm going to hang on a 20mm edge in a passive hang with relaxed arms and hands. Fingers are in a half crimp. Next, I'll do a pull-up from this position. You can see the inherent slack in my upper body that must be overcome before muscles are engaged. Now I'll use the same edge and apply external rotation through my hands before I settle into the hang. Fingers are still in half crimp and facing the same direction, but I'm twisting the hands a bit as if I'm trying to bend the hangboard. In the hang position, you can immediately notice a change in the positioning of my scapula. This is called an active hang, where the scapulas are depressed. You can also see a bit more engagement through the hands and forearms. Next, I'll do a pull-up from this position. Note the absence of slack and the instant engagement of my body moving as one. My fingers, arms, and upper body didn't magically get stronger, but by using external rotation to create torque, I was able to arrange my joints in the optimal position for synchronous movement. Now, let's see how we can apply this to the wall. Before we start, you should know that the variability of handhold types, their pulling direction, and our relative body position will feel much different and more challenging compared to the static controlled pulling on a hangboard. That being said, there are still ways we can apply torque through our hands and make these movements feel better. The first and easiest way is to twist our hands on holds. This works best if there's a spot for the thumb, as its pressure from the opposite side of your hand accentuates the pressure from the fingers. When you grab onto a handhold, give a slight twist by externally rotating the hand. This will engage the thumb more fully and create torque through the hand and wrist. If you're creating torque with the left hand, you'll be twisting counterclockwise. Using the right hand, you'll twist clockwise. Give it a try on some holds and see how it feels. The second way is to create external rotation through the forearm. This is also known as supination. This is very similar to what we did on the hangboard and is used for handholds that don't have a spot for the thumb. Once your fingers are established on the pulling edge, you're going to slightly rotate the forearm externally, as if turning your palms face up. Both methods will allow your fingers to feel better connected on handholds and give your movements an added sense of stability. To naturally integrate this into your climbing, I recommend first using this technique when establishing on boulders. Get a sense of how connected your body feels when applying torque on handholds from a stationary position. Next, you can start incorporating the skill on handholds that you can move to statically. Give yourself the time to arrive at a handhold with control and take the extra time to apply torque comfortably and correctly. Now that you're armed with this secret, go out there and tighten up your climbing. If you're looking to add to your newfound strength with improvements in your technique and climbing IQ, head over to movementforclimbers.com to access my private video library. Use the link and discount code below in the description to get 30% off an annual membership. Remember to be playful and stay curious. And until next time, move better, climb harder.